Welcome to E2G2 Reflection. I'm your host, Allison. Today we're going to reflect on the process of web design. Let's meet our panel. Spencer, Drew, Jason, Colton.
In terms of planning at team meetings, I would definitely try and organize workflow at the team meetings, like decide what each person would do compared to what we currently do, which is make it up on the spot. And in terms of teaming, I would try and get everybody to do the same amount of workload so that one person doesn't do everything in one day and then it rotates. And in terms of site creation, I would try and make buttons instead of those links because buttons look much nicer and more professional. And I would try and get everything aligned properly.
Actually plan instead of, like Spencer said, just make it up on the spot and think out exactly what we want to get done. And in terms of teaming, I'd probably try and keep everybody with a task instead of giving everybody short tasks, because when some people would finish their short tasks, they would get really distracted and off task. And site construction, I would do the buttons like Spencer said. I would also try and give our site, instead of just a white background, maybe like a picture or something, but keep it in contrast with the text.
In terms of planning, teaming, and site construction, I would have done several things differently. First of all, for planning, I would have planned the whole site out from start to finish, because this time we made a lot of changes to the plan and it threw us off. And then for teaming, I would have divvied up the workload more evenly because some people didn't take their workload very seriously. And also for site construction, I would have put more detail and information into the site and made it look better.
First of all, Allison, in terms of planning, I think our group should have team meeting at the beginning of class should have been more thorough and constructed about what each individual was supposed to complete by the end of the class. And during site construction, I would have researched more into the Dreamweaver and see how we could have made it more appealing to the eye, such as using buttons and some maybe changing the background color of it to make it more eye appealing. Thank you.
Did you follow directions? How often did you refer to them? Did your method work? Explain.
I think our group followed directions pretty well. We referred to the directions that were on Moodle a couple times. We probably should have referred to it a little more though and used it as a checklist. Our method mostly worked because our site turned out pretty well. Most of the stuff that I would have wanted to change wasn't on the actual directions, so I would say our method worked pretty well.
As a team, we did follow directions quite well, I believe. We all had 3 content pages and all the requirements met. I think that next time we can follow the detailed rules a little bit better, though.
Or should I look that way? Dang it, it's filming.
Just look at the camera.
Okay, we can cut this all out. Okay, so, did we follow directions? Yes, I think our group did follow directions because, well, our group had all the requirements met, except for one of the interactive elements was on my page and should have been on Jason's. But besides that flaw, all the requirements were met, and we could have referred to them a little bit more, paid attention to the more detailed directions, because our group was lacking in that department. And did your method work? Yes, our method did work. We were able to finish the website on time.
Did your group follow directions? Well, as in all, throughout the entire project, on average, with a curve, I think our group followed directions pretty well. There were times when 1 or 2 people were lacking following directions. And the other group members should have helped them get on track, which they didn't. And did you refer to the directions on Moodle? Yes, we referred to the directions on Moodle quite a bit, actually. We went there for every team meeting and at the end of class and whenever we needed to, because Moodle is my friend.
Were your pages proofread? Did you make changes based on the proofreading?
Yeah, our pages were proofread by the rest of our group. Like, I had the page on Carnegie Hall and Spencer proofread my page, and I made changes based on the proofread because I had some grammar errors.
Okay.
My page was not very well proofread, and I did not proofread it. Wasn't proofread very well, and the proofreading was not very good, so I could not make the additions that I wanted to get a better grade.
Okay, E2G2 proofread my page, but they didn't. Yeah, no, but they didn't say anything about it to me, so I couldn't make any changes. Yeah.
My page was also proofread by E2G2, but I did not receive feedback from the page, so I had Drew proofread it, and he found grammatical errors, and I changed those, so I didn't get any decent feedback. I just got really short, quick feedback, because that's all the time we had. Yeah.
Thank you for watching E2G2 Reflection. I'm your host, Allison John, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.